Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing, I think it is just literally called Windoku. It is Equality Cages 133 though, so that would be the full title as opposed to just Windoku. Now, unless I've made a mistake, this is literally the last outstanding puzzle from guBBLOR that are along the Equality Cages, Shifter Line, Shifter Dot series, including the Equalite puzzles. Now, if you think I've actually skipped one, do let me know so I do actually complete the series. And please, let's all, I don't want to use the word bully, but let's implore guBBLOR to continue with the series as well as any other constructors that have actually enjoyed them. Now, this particular puzzle, when I take a look at the grid, it is very sparse. And I think in general, guBBLOR tends to construct really strong fusions where you have to use the variant in addition to the equality cages to actually make progress. So I haven't really played Windoku puzzles before, but there's one that we played on this channel once before that was like very approachable. But I'm a little bit worried the fact that I don't know any tips and tricks of Windoku that I may actually get stuck. And if I do get stuck, what I will probably do is hit the pause button, jump and have a look at like some tips and tricks to try and understand what on earth is going on. But what I'm going to try and do regardless though is actually try and derive the logic, like really ambitious, a little bit arrogant to be fair. And if I'm lucky it's all going to go well. If I'm not, well, you'll see a small pause before everything seems to proceed a little bit smoother after that. Enough of an introduction. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule sets with Equality Cages 133 Windoku by guBBLOR. You can see what I mean by it's relatively sparse. The thing that really stands out is these grey squares. We'll come onto that in a second. Rules-wise, we've got the following set of rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column if I can select one, and in every 3 by 3 box. Then we have the Windoku reference. So digits must not repeat within the grey regions. Really, it's just saying that these squares have to be the digits 1 to 9 once each, and that is true for every one of these 4 squares. So essentially we've got 4 copies of the digits 1 to 9, and obviously each one is its own 1 to 9 setup. We've got the equality cages, of course. That's the whole reason for the puzzle. So cages must have an equal number of low digits, such as 1, 2, 3, 4, and high digits, such as 6, 7, 8, 9. It also has to have an equal number of even digits, such as 2 or 4, and odd digits such as 7 or 9. So that would be a valid set of pencil marks for equality cages. Notice in all of the list of numbers that I mentioned, the number 5 never occurs in equality cages. Kropki dots, a black dot between cells, indicate cell values with a 2 to 1 ratio. So if for example, this cell is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4 so that it is indeed in a 2 to 1 ratio. Essentially, one cell is double the other. And white dots means that they're consecutive. So if that's a 2, that would be 1 or 3, so that it is consecutive. Not all dots are shown. A 2 with a 4 in here, a 2 with a 3 in there, no white dot, no black dot, no cause for concern. I think last but not least, we've got X's and V's. So adjacent cells connected with an X must sum up to 10. So if this cell here is a 2, this would be an 8. To make sure that these 2 cells add up to 10, these 2 cells add up to 10, you get the drift. And we only have the one V that I can see, which is in here. Cells connected with a V must sum up to 5, and not all X's or V's are given. So one option, for example, would be 1 and 4. These 2 cells now add up to 5. It does not complain about the fact that these 2 cells add up to 5. No V here, not a problem. And 8 with a 2 in there, they add up to 10, and no X, also not a problem. So that's all the rules we have for today. Not a lot of them, to be fair. I mean, there is a lot of variance, but there's not a lot of clues on the grid, other than obviously these giant squares. So we're going to have to do something about that first. As always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. With that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, what catches my attention the most is this V. It's the only one. It's the only one with a white Kropki dot. It's kind of begging for you to look at it. So let's think about this. So obviously 5 in 2 cells is either 1, 4 or 2, 3. So let's just fully pencil mark that for a second. And then this cell has to be consecutive. So it's essentially 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Because essentially if this is 2, 3, that would be 1, 4. And if this is 1, 4, this could be 2 or 5. And I imagine something about this construction is meant to tip us off into which one it is. I'm going to play around with it for a bit. Let's try this. So 2, 3, and 4. What does that mean? So, I mean, the interesting thing is about these is that they're all inside these like white strips between these gray squares. And obviously the gray squares we know are the digits 1 to 9 once each. So in essence, what it means is if the 2 is down here, well, the 2 is essentially one of these cells. And then like, just go with me. This is all just exploratory at this point. Let's just assume the 2 is in there and then the 2 is in here. Because we need a 2 in each of these gray squares. And I guess the same could be said is true for the 3, in that the 3 is none of these, the 3 is none of these. It has to be up top. Let's say it's here and there. I'm already starting to see that there's a bit of trouble for this black Kropki, so it's clearly meant to play with us somehow. And then the 4, we've got the same trick. Let's say that's the 4. In fact, here, 4, 8. So it kind of works. No, it doesn't work. No, it does work. No, it doesn't work. Right. Sorry, I messed that up. I didn't mean to do that. 4 would be down here because the 4 is up there. Yes, that all looks correct now. Okay. And just for the sake of argument, let's just make this easy. 2, 4, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3. Now, what does that mean for these x's? Maybe that is the clue. So they can't be 2, 8. They can't be 3, 7. They can't be 4, 6s. So they would have to both be 1, 9. And then I couldn't make this work because whichever one has the 1, because essentially this, again, let's just play along. 9 and 1, 1 and 9. And then both the 1 and 9 would have to be in the bottom rows, which they can't be. If we're getting the black Kropki dot, 1, 9 in here, then 1, 9 in there, and then obviously that would break Sudoku. So clearly I thought of an example that doesn't work. Sorry, I'm gonna, let's just reverse this for a second. Well, it's still true. Let's say instead of 4s now, that's 1. And this is, let's say, 1, 2 for the sake of argument. And then these become 4, 6s because they can't be 2. What am I doing? Hang on, just forget the 1, 9s for a second, sorry. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. The 2 would have to be down here. I'm making a mistake. That would be 2. That would be the 2. That's correct now. 3 in here, 3 in there. No. Yes, because the 3 is in the middle. Yes. So it'd have to be something like that. But then I have the same problem with the 4s and 6s. They would both have to be down here because they're on different rows. There's a 4 there, there's a 4 there in an X-wing, and a 6 there and a 6 there in an X-wing. And they would both have to be in the bottom rows of these boxes. So is that essentially telling me that this has to be 145? Why is it telling me that? Come on, sleuth, think. So if these are all low digits from 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever these digits are, they can't repeat in here. Yes, 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 yes. Because if this is a 3, then there has to be a 3 there. And then it will eliminate 3 from both of them. If this is a 2, well, one of the 2's would have to be here, one of the 2's would be there, and again, it can't be in here. So if these are low digits, these low digits can't be in here. Excuse me. Then you'd have to repeat one of the digits, one of the remaining low digit, whichever one you leave out, whether it's 4, 6, 1, it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, I could do something silly like 1, 4, and 2. I'm still going to have the same problem. And essentially, this would end up being 3, 7. And I'm sure I can construct this now, sort of seemingly work, but obviously I'd end up with 3, 7 both being down there. Because these 3 cells cannot repeat in these, well, they can't repeat in the x's. I haven't quite thought about this cell. We'll come back to that. Yes, because the 4 would be here, the 4 would be there, so it's eliminated. The 1 of them would be here, one of them would be there, and then the 2, yes, yes, yes. And then the second they're the same, I've broken the puzzle. Interesting. So it's really the x's that's putting the pressure. And I can't use 3 low digits because these have to be unique. So the only way I can't use 3 low digits in here is 5, 4, and 1. We have a break-in. And then obviously equality cage means this is 6 or 8. And then because this is 1 or 4, and I need to have different ones in here, these would be 2, 3, 7, 8. I did say I should think about these cells for a second. Let's think about these cells for a second. So they're obviously not 1. I'm going to say they're obviously not 4. Yes. They're obviously not 5. Yes. 2. Well, that wouldn't be 2, 8. Remember, they had to be different for some reason. So that would be, well, no 2's, but I still need 2's in that square. So let's say it'll be down here and here, and then it can't be there. Is that the idea? Is that these are the digits 1 to 9 once each? It makes sense. I just want to think about it a bit, just a tiny bit longer. Come on, because whatever cell this is, let's just color it blue. It has to occur in one of these cells. It would have to occur in one of these cells, and therefore it's eliminated from all of the remaining digits. Yes, this is the digits 1 to 9 once each. And that's nothing to do with the x's. The x's helps us with the break-in, and obviously this v and white Kropki dot, that's just blanket true for Windoku. And because this is a 6-9 pair, that's got to be an 8. And because I already have a 2 and a 1 and an 8 and a 6, that has to be surely 2, 4 then. 2, 4 inside an equality cage, that's 7, 9. Therefore, that is a 6, that is a 9. These are now known, they are 3, 5, 7. I'm wondering if I should just, bear with me, we're just going to do a bit of coloring. So these are the digits 1 to 9. And actually, hang on. Yeah. We're going to get back to Windoku, but let's just do this one. So this has to be a 3, 6 because it's not 1 or 4. So it can't be 1, 2, can't be 2, 4, can't be 4, 8. This has to be 3, 6. And the equality cage says if this is 6, that would be 1 or 3, which wouldn't be available. So that has to be 3. That would have to be 6. The equality cage would have to have an 8. These two cells are now known. They are 2, 7, 9, although the 7, 9 gives me 2, 7, and 9. Right, we're off and racing. Now, presumably, these have the same restriction in that the 6 now has to be in these cells. Yes, and therefore they can't be in these cells. And presumably it's the same. Sorry, I'm just listening if my dog upstairs is asking me to bring her down. Where was I? I was saying, so, right, again, let's try this. So if this is red, remember, it still needs to appear in here. Obviously, it could also be there and there. That would also work, presumably, or here. But it does mean it can't be there, can't be there. So yeah. So, okay, right. So we are going to do this. Yellow, red, and these are also the digits 1 to 9. So yellow is the digits 1 to 9, green is the digits 1 to 9, blue is the digits 1 to 9, and red is the digits 1 to 9. And it leaves a suspicious set of white cells that probably have to be the digits 1 to 9, because essentially I've got 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets, 4, sorry, let's try it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and obviously, hang on, come on. I can't select multiple colors, that's why. Essentially, the colors, there are 4 of the sets of 1 to 9, and then the grays, the boxes, the Windoku themselves, are another 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. So the white cells have to be another set of the digits 1 to 9, because that's the only thing that's left. How are we doing for time? Right, where am I going with this again? So 7, 9 means that is not 8, 7, or 9. That is forced. This is 4, 6. And I mean, I guess we may as well just use it. So this is not 2, 4, 7, 9, and it's not a 6. It's got to have an 8. So it's 1, 3, 8. But the fact that it has an 8 means that this is not 2, 8. It's got to be 3, 7. So this is 1, 8. This is 3, 5. I haven't got a clue. Okay, 3, 3, 7, we did say they have to be different. And then no 8 in this green, no 8 in this green. 8 has to be in this green. It can't be down there because we've got a 1, 8 pair. So that's got to be 8. That's got to be 1. No, I'm just taking a look at these, trying to think what's left. So no 2s, and no 2s, so there has to be a 2 in here. No 1, no 1, has to be a 1 in there. 3's done. 6 is, I mean, I jumped a few digits. 3's done. 4 and 5 seemingly can be anywhere. And we should probably think about this cell. So it's not 9 or 8. It's 6 or 7, and it can't be 6. So I'm thinking about what the high digits are. So it's got to be 7, and it can't be with a 1 inside a equality case. So that's got to be the 1. The 2 is on this side, so that's got to be 4, 7. That is a 4, 7, so that's got to be 9. And then these two cells have to be 2, 5. And then Sudoku says these two cells are... Oh, come on, Sleuth, let's not struggle with the basics now. 4, 9? 4, 4, 9. So that's green done. So tempted to think about red now. Eight has to be up here. This is not 8. This is not 8. So 8 is up there. So that's 7, 9, 6, 8. We need 5. We need 1, 2, 3, 5 as the remaining digits. This is not 1, 2. This is 3, 5. This is not 2, 5. Sorry, I've lost track. So missing in red is 1, 2, 3, 5. This is not 2 or 5, so that has to be 1 or 3. And this is 3 or 5. So 2 has to be up there to join the 8. Yes, that makes sense. No 2 here, no 2 there because of the 2, 5 pair. And then there is a loose 1, 3, 5 up there. Can I do anything about this? No 2 in here. Can this be 3, 6? So no 2, not 2, 4. So clearly not 1, 2. Presumably it can be 4, 8. I'm not seeing why it can't be 3, 6. We'll come back to that. I think we've done all we can here. How are we for time? Sorry, I'm keeping an eye because I do need to run in a second. Which is a bit of a shame because just as it was getting interesting. Come on, Sleuth. Come on. This is not 2, 8. How about we just do simple Sudoku for now? Let's not complicate this. What is the rest of this? It's maybe the better question to be asking myself. And the rest of this. So let's do Sudoku. So I've got my 9 sorted. I've got my 7 sorted. I need an 8, which is essentially one of these 3 cells. That can't be an 8. That's the 8 in the yellow sorted. So 1, 2. I need a 4 in here. 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh? 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Yes. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8, and it can't be 4 or 8, just because of the pencil marks. That the column says, oh, come on, Sleuth, 3, 5, 6. We did say something about these being digits 1 to 9. Come on, that's a 7. No 7s, no 7s. 7 is down here. In fact, no 6. So there's another 1, 3, 5 with a 7 and a 2. So 2 and 7 with a 3, 5. 8 is in here. Where does 4 go? 4 can't be here, 4 can't be there. 4 has to be in here. We already established that. Plus another of the 3, 5, 6. And then another of the 1, 3, 5. And then another of the 3, 5, 6. Presumably. Right, we're getting somewhere, I think. Where do I go from here? Come on, come on, come on. 3, 5, 7. Let's think about the rest of this. In here, I have another 3, 5, 7, a 4, a 6. It's just not enough. Sorry, I do need to hit the pause button. Right, sorry about that. Let's see if we can get back into it. And I don't know, maybe I'm actually sort of half tempted to give Windoku a break and just let's just do Sudoku. Let's not obsess over the yellows, reds, blues, and greens. It's so close to being sort of solved. Let's see, where do we go from here? Three, 5, 9 is done, 1 is done. So 1 is down here. 1 can't be there because that can't be 2, so that's 1. And then in here, we have, I mean, it can't be 4, 8. If that's 8, that can't be 4. And can it not be 4? Why could it not be 4? 8, 4 means I don't, presumably I could still put 4 in here. Yes. 4, this could be 2. Can it be 3, 6? So far it doesn't seem to be. Why is that? Because of these. So no 3, 6. This is 4, 8. And because this can't be 8, this is either 4 or 2. There's definitely a 4 between these two cells. That means that is definitely not a 4. Okay. And because there's a 4 in these two cells, one of them has to be. It's either 2, 4 or 8, 4. That's not a 4. That's a 7. That's a 4. That's green at least done. We should really try and crack this black Kropki dot. It's meant to be telling us something that I'm not quite seeing. And I'm still struggling with why or whether it is. Hang on. It's not 3, 6 because there's 3, 5 in here. I'm ignoring the Windoku. So that can't be 3, 6. And it can't be 2, 4. And it can't include a 2. That's 4, 8. That took me a while. That's 4, that's 8, that's 6, that's 4. That means that's not 8. Kind of very close to actually resolving these. 3, 5. Actually, we can just, right, let's use Windoku for a second. What is the rest of that window? More broadly. Let's do this row first. This is 2, 4, 6. No 2s. That's got to be a 2. That's got to be a 4. That can't be a 4. That has to be an 8. We'll come back to that yellow for a second. That means that this is 3, 5, 6, all of which seemingly are still allowed. No 7s is a 7. And then another 3, 5, 6 and a 4 in one of these two cells. That's not the 4, that's the 4. This is 3, 5, 6. Excellent. That's a 3, 5, 6 triple. 4 and 8. This is 1, 2, 7, 9. 1, 7. And then the 2 can't be in here because of these two. So 2 and then 9. That seems correct, I think, in terms of pencil marks. What does that 1, 3 help me with? It really does help me, doesn't it? Such as this 9. How about that? 7, 1. 2, 9 pair. And then that 1 tells me that's 3. That's got to be 5. These are not 5 anymore. That's 3, 6. One of these two cells now has to be a 5. So that's not a 5. And in fact, it isn't. 3, 5. That's just plain 6. That's not a 6. That's a 3, 5 pair. That is a 6. That's a 3. Then we've got 2, 7 and something. 2, 7, 1, 2, 7. No 1s is a 1. 7, 2. So because there's no 3s in here, that's got to be 3 in this yellow. And then these 3 cells are the remainder, which is 1. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's got to be 5, 6, 9, I'm going to say. Does that look right? That is all of the digits 1 to 9. And then obviously we know what this row would be now. It's got to be 2, 8, and 1. So that's 1, 2, 8. That's not 8. That's not 1. That's not 2 because of the 2, 9 pair. And of course they don't resolve. That's fine. That is not 2, 8. That is not 3, 7. And it's not 4, 6. That is 1, 9. That means that's not a 9. I still need a 2 in here inside this box in general. So there's another 2 in there, which means 2 we already knew is up there. What else do I need to complete the square? I need 2, I've got 3. I need a 4, which is not in here, it's in there. Can't have a 5 there. Oh, we've got the 5. I need a 6 and a 7. 7's not here, so this is a 4-7 pair, and this is a 2-6 pair. That means that's not a 6. 6 is in here. We're getting somewhere, slowly but surely. We know what these two cells are, and they can't include a 9, so that is a 9. That's not a 9. And these two cells are 5 and 7. 7 is in here. That's the 5. That's the 2. That's the 5. That's the 2. That's the 9. Then we need 3, which is not placed. 4, 5. Actually, what is the rest of this? 3, 9. 1, 9 gives me 9 and 3, which gives me 5 and 3, which gives me 6 and 5, which actually that 4, once we're up here, 7, 4, 7, 3. No resolution for these seemingly. These we can just write in. I need 6, which can only be in here, and then I need an 8. Lovely. Surely this is resolved. Yes, it is. 5. Yes. 2, 4. 2 gives me 1. 8, 2. 3, 5, 7, 9. 7, 9 is. 3 is. Right. We're very nearly there then. Need a 1. Need a 3. 3, 1. 9, 1. We're done with 2, so we're looking for a 6 or 8 to help us kind of wrap up things. But let's do the 9 first. 9. And that is a 6, which will wrap up things. 2, 6, 8, 2. And then I needed an 8, which can only be in here. And then if I've not made any mistakes, 5 for the finish. It is a fantastic puzzle, as always, guBBLOR. And as always, it is a fusion of these. I may actually go back. There was like another Windoku puzzle from Sir Moose. I did say on this channel that I wanted to solve. And now that I know this trick, they seem a lot more approachable. So I'm definitely going to check that out now. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle. And guBBLOR, please keep these going. They are fantastic. And they do deserve... Was that really? Yeah, 34 solves. Come on, guys. We can do better than the 34 solves. Hope to see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.